Jay here for Stretford Paddock. That's Stephen Howson, or as I like to call him, ITK because last night, right, look, everyone's saying it's going to be Michael Carrick, yeah? It's Michael Carrick's going to be the next Manchester United manager. People last night were saying he was the favourite, he was emerging ahead of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You went a little bit further than that. You said you spoke to people, and from what you've been told, it's Carrick. He's going to be the next Manchester United manager. Just talk us through what sort of went down last night, really.
So I got a text off you saying, should we do the match report?
Yeah.
And I was like, I've literally just got in. The next text I get is Michael Carrick's going to be the interim. And I was like, oh. So I was having a think and I was like, So I did a quick Twitter search, see if anyone else had had it.
Yeah.
And no one had. And I was like, So I messaged a handful of journalists that I know.
And reputable journalists as well, let's be honest. We don't...
Only tier one.
Yeah, we don't mingle with the pros.
And one of them was like, I went, have you heard what I've heard? And he went, let me get...
Have you heard what I've heard? So it's interesting when you start a conversation with a journalist. Have you heard what I've heard? Oh yeah, I have. What is it though? Just so... Tell me what you've heard.
How do you say it without saying it?
Tell me what you've heard and I'll tell you if that's what I've heard as well. In case you know what I mean. It's just about to give it away.
Oh no, I didn't say like that. I said, have you heard the interim is finalised? And he said,
right.
yes, have you heard? And I said, yeah, I've heard it's finalised. I'm just debating whether to do a video tonight on it or wait until my morning walk tomorrow. And I went, when do you think it'll break? And he put, definitely not tonight. And I said, yeah, I know that, but if I've heard and you've heard, and he said, Clubber's saying it's not sorted yet. And I said, look, someone's going to run it. I want to run it first.
Yeah.
And he said, should we say after 3?
Like you starting nuclear war. Nuclear war. You turn your kid out to mine. Go on.
So it went 3, 2, 1, Carrick, and he put, haha, yeah. And I said, I'm Fletcher's coach with one of the coming, and he said exactly the same. I said, how sure do you think it is? And he said, pretty solid. And I said, right. And then the plan was, and this individual, everyone thinks it's Jamie Jackson.
Yeah, because Jamie...
Straight away, all the comments was Jamie Jackson.
Just a bit of context there. I think you recorded your vid whilst Jamie was posting that Carrick was the favourite. Now, Jamie went quite sort of strong on him being the favourite, and I think he was the first one to say, look, it's Carrick over Ole. But he didn't say... Yeah, he didn't say it's Carrick. You were saying, look, this is more or less done from what I'm hearing. It's going to be Michael Carrick. Not he's the favourite, not the talks have gone better with him.
No, what I heard was it's Carrick.
It's him. Like, there's
but when
no
you start hearing
area.
details of like, it's Carrick, Fletcher sticking around, and there's one other coach. Now, by the sounds of it, I didn't hear this and I don't know this. It sounds like Adam Lawrence is going to be his coach.
Right,
because when I heard one other coming in, I was like, oh, I actually don't know who his assistants was at Middlesbrough. So let me go and have a look. And it was Woodgate and his brother, and I was like, neither of them are going down well if it's at Old Trafford. So,
Jonathan Woodgate. It's bad enough we've got ex-Leeds United Jason Wilcox at the helm. So let's start bringing in more Leeds players or
really
ex-players.
strengthen it as well, innit? So I was like, so when you see Adam Lawrence has just left his positions at Newcastle as well,
Right,
and you think, okay, that makes more sense because he was at United, and you think, okay, the word on the street is that it was going to be announced on Tuesday by the club.
Right, okay.
I don't know if...
Yeah, I think sometimes though you might have moved the needle on their sunshine because that happens, doesn't it? When they're like, "Well, wait until that," and then it's like someone's leaked it. Everyone's found out, right? We need to get ahead of this. So we might have an announcement earlier. What was it like then when you saw that? You'd said that, and what was the pushback like on your other channel? Because were people saying this is happening, this is good news, or were they still down with you? Because at that time, last night, it wasn't until this morning, I think.
No one's really said anything like that. Most people was like, "Jamie told you." I don't have Jamie's number.
Right,
I speak to him on Twitter.
You're missing out. Jamie's messages from Jamie are amazing.
It wasn't Jamie either. The person that I actually was having that conversation with hasn't said anything about it yet.
Well, because a lot of people just assume it's Rio Ferdinand, but I think you said on your live, it's like on your video, sorry, like don't just assume it's Rio because that's not.
Rio's in Saudi for one, and WhatsApp don't work.
Right. Okay, that's fine. Fair enough.
I think he lands. Well, we're recording this now at like 11:15.
Yeah.
I'm on air with him in about 45 minutes.
Right, we'll make sure we get this out before that goes out.
He's in Saudi. He was at the Classico last night, so his WhatsApp and that don't work. It wasn't Rio.
Right. Just give us your... Obviously, you've been on it, all over it. Looks like everyone's in agreement now. What you said is right, is correct. We're expecting an announcement imminently from the club. What do you make of that appointment?
I'm optimistic because I want to be. You know, I don't like being...
Negative.
The only person I think I'd have been negative about would have been Gareth Southgate. I'd have been wounded.
Have you ever been negative about an appointment?
No.
I haven't either.
No, because I'm an optimist.
Yeah. And usually, like, you've got an angle where you can go, okay, I can see why this could work because of this, or this could work because of that. I'm with you on the Southgate thing. I'd struggle to stand on the terraces chanting
Genuinely,
Southgate's red and white army.
Be able to go to games. I'm not even kidding.
Are you telling me the man that got Middlesbrough relegated and got sat with him in the Championship isn't
Jay
the guy?
got England relegated.
People are having to go when I said Darren Fletcher's a club legend. Michael Carrick is a club legend no matter what you say. He won every single club trophy you can win at Manchester United, and he's one of only 2 players to do that, the other being Wayne Rooney. There's no arguing there. When he was the interim manager or whatever he was last time, he was unbeaten. He got us into the top 4. He got us through to the knockout stage of the Champions League. The place was pumping against him. Ronaldo liked him. The place was pumping against Arsenal that in his last game, and he left with a bit of dignity. He went, right, I've done my job you've asked me to do. Wish the club well. I'm off. And everyone was like, yeah, I like that. He didn't stick around, wasn't part of backroom staff where he wasn't wanted, didn't do anything in the media where he was slagging off the next manager.
He's also gone and coached for several seasons.
Yeah.
So the amount of learning that you do in every single game as a coach is massive, especially like that first 100 or so games, because he'll look back and go, I can't believe I said that in my first team talk. There'll be things that he cringes with now that you've got to do the reps. He's gone and done the reps.
Yeah.
And it was only 6-7 months ago that he was working. He was relieved of his duties in the summer, wasn't he, at Middlesbrough?
And it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was a success at Middlesbrough. Obviously, like you said, he got sacked, but it wasn't like he went there and he was like, what the hell's going on here? Do you know what I mean? There was like, and obviously I always think with some managers as well,
Middlesbrough fans kind of still have a soft spot for him and think that. And the problem is that they're pretty close to promotion at the moment.
Yeah, well, Rob Edwards did a very good job there, didn't he? Before he decided he'd rather get relegated with Wolves and spend that season in the Championship than getting promoted with Middlesbrough being in the Premier League.
He was like, "Well, we look like we're getting out of it." Not that. I said, "I want to be a Championship manager, not a Premier League manager."
But he sort of ticks all the boxes, doesn't he? Is there any part of you that's disappointed it's not Ole? Because
a little bit. But at the same time, I don't know what Ole football looks like without Carrick and McKenna. I don't know what percentage of what we saw with Ole we see there. And I just think the narrative around Ole, it was getting loud.
Yeah.
As much as I'd have loved it, because you watch a man that does the interview that he does after he leaves. Has anyone even done an interview after they've left like that?
No. Well, most people leave. Like Louis van Gaal left with the FA Cup under his arm, literally sat when he'd won it that day.
Flicking the V's.
Yeah, Jose Mourinho, I don't think they'd have let him anywhere near a camera. After he left.
It just doesn't happen, does it? So, like, the fact that the guy's crying, give me that passion and love for the club. And is it romantic and is it probably a bit naive? Yeah, but it's sport at the end of the day.
Laurie was saying this when he was on the channel the other day. You want a bit of that, don't you?
Stop taking emotion out of sport.
Yeah,
it's inherently romantic and emotional. And if it's not, then
what we're doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
This is ridiculous. Yeah. I don't know those 11 players. When you think about what they wear on a pitch, it's really weird. If you just saw people wearing shorts and socks up to the knee like that out in public, you'd be like, is everything all right at home, my kid? Like, what are you doing? Like, it's really weird. 80,000 of us pack into a stadium to watch these 11 fellas we don't know.
Yeah.
You take the emotion out of that and it's really weird.
No,
it's mad weird.
That is really strange. I'm glad we don't do that. Just one final one. Michael Carrick comes in, which he's going to. We've established that, or you've established that. He's a success. We get Champions League football. The good times are back at Old Trafford. He's turned it around 180.
Then we get Southgate.
Do we keep Michael Carrick? Would you want him to keep the job? Or would you go, no, this is where we've made mistakes in the past with a bit like reactionary when we should have had a long-term plan that didn't involve that? What's you thinking?
Jay, if you think that after what we've seen in the past, if we're going to throw out our plans in the summer to a point like a credible Thomas Tuchel or Julian Nagelsmann, after Michael Carrick's been here for 6 months and got us Champions League football, do you think that I'm going to get behind that? You're absolutely right.
Good lad. I knew you were going to say that. You didn't disappoint me. See, this is the advantage of me, see. I don't know what other managers do, you know me. I don't watch anywhere near the amount of football you do. So if some guy's been winning a load of games at United, then that's good enough for me. And if he's a club legend, yeah, I'm all right. I don't even know what Julian Nagelsmann looks like.
The thing is, like, every transfer is a risk. Every appointment is a risk.
Yeah.
It is definitely the better the devil you know. And like I was thinking about this morning. When you look at people are kicking off about INEOS, and they've absolutely made mistakes. And I think in terms of optics more so than execution of a lot of stuff. Although the execution of sacking Ten Hag and hiring and firing Amorim inside 14 months, certainly not a good look. it could have been genuinely worse if it had just been Matt Judge and friends and the Glazers.
Oh, yeah.
I at least, even if the execution hasn't been perfect and it's been far from it, I at least believe that they're trying to be successful. I know the Glazers didn't give a shit if we were successful.
No.
It was like, you got our money.
Yeah.
That's all I asked about. So at least they want us to be successful. Now you can critique the performance. I don't think you can critique the sentiment. And for me, the sentiment always goes a long way. Did you mean to be successful, or are you asked if you're not? That buys you some credit at least, unlike fucking Florida clowns.
No, I completely agree. And I think, look, for me, the jury's still out, and you can understand why, and I get that with most people, but at least some of the signings we've made have made sense to me, which have not always said
straight off the bat,
that.
they've put money into Carrington.
Yeah, and that's not happened, has it? Carrington was what? Rejuvenated or redone in 2000?
Built
in 2000.
2001.
What about, yeah.
And that was the last time there was a builder there, I think.
Well, yeah, it was. And we cut down some trees and put them back up again, and put some cameras down and took them,
we did,
put them back up again. And
we put some lights up because Lou Van Gaal was like, y'all got no lights?
Yeah. We moved one of the security boxes a bit further back, but you know what I mean? Honestly, shambles. Thanks, Steve, for coming in and clarifying that for us, giving us a little bit of an update on what's going on. Go and check out Steve on Stephen Howson TV. And check out Stretford Paddock FC as well, man. They might not got a result at the weekend, but it looks like it's all going relatively well. Well, enough said about that. That's been Stephen Howson. I'm Jay. This has been a look at Manchester United's next manager. It's Carrick, you know. Thanks for watching.